Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to finally be unboxing and reviewing the Star Wars Retro Collection Ahsoka wave. So I've had this whole wave delivered probably about a week ago. Just now finally trying to get this video out. I'm really excited about getting this wave. So got it from Entertainment Earth. They package real well. I actually ordered an entire case. So that came in the original shipper box from Hasbro. And then I ordered a couple doubles as well, just to get an opener and one to keep on card back of each figure. So I'll drop a order link. I believe they might be in stock at Entertainment Earth. I'll put my promo code. You can get 10% off any in-stock orders for anybody that hasn't picked these up yet. But without further ado, we're going to check these out. So the first one we're going to look at, we have Marok. So he is the Inquisitor type figure from Ahsoka. I thought this figure was going to be a big reveal. I think most fans did, of maybe a character that we know, but it looks like it was just kind of some of the Night Sisters magic with this character. So we're going to open him up first and check him out. All right, here is Marok, or Marok, however you say it. So he does have a soft cape that removes actually quite easily. Kind of drape it over his shoulder. At least that's how it looks. It almost doesn't look like it fits or it'd be straight on the back. So looks like that's how we should have it. This character just looks awesome. He kind of looks like a evil knight kind of figure with his mask. And then he does have his double-bladed lightsaber. See how he holds on to this. I'm going to take this off. There we go. So he holds that pretty well. Now, one thing I forgot to mention just for this one, the card back looks like the duel in the woods with Ahsoka. So definitely a cool depiction of him on the card back. So anyways, back to the figure. So I like all of the Inquisitor type characters. I think it's a really fun addition to the Star Wars universe. And it seems like Lucasfilm is really embracing them and putting them in a lot of their media. So definitely a fan of him. I kind of wish that he would have been around a little longer. To have one of our 7 characters be somebody that kind of got offed pretty quickly. I almost would have rather had Balin and Shin Hati instead of him, but can't argue because he's an awesome character. So he's number 1. So we're just going to kind of go down the line here. There's that. So the next up we have the HK-87 Assassin Droid. Now this character, they had a lot of different models to go off of. I really like the version they chose for the Retro Collection. The one for Vintage Collection was almost all red. So I like this. They kind of did almost like a maroon type color. And they used the same card back, but they did update the paint to reflect which version of this one we got in Retro. So definitely a fan here. So we'll open him up and check him out as well. All right, here we have our Assassin Droid. Now the first awesome feature of this one is, of course, how his rifle or blaster can attach onto his back. So there's a little hook. Now it did take a little finagling to get it to stay in there, but once it's in, it's actually in there pretty secure. So you can see just a little notch there. You almost have to kind of slide it in. And there it is. So really cool feature. Let's see if he holds it well also. Yeah, pretty firm grasp on the rifle if you want to have him holding it as well. But I love little touches like this that they can add in. A lot of the original figures back in the 70s and 80s had things like that or similar things. So, a lot of collectors, that's something you could easily miss and just think that that's some detailing of the components of the droid, but definitely an awesome feature. So make sure you test that out on yours. Work with it a little bit. It was a little challenging at first for me, but once I figured it out, pretty easy to get in there. So love the coloring. It's got I believe 5 different colors on there, which is really awesome for the retro collection to get some different paint apps. I just really like the version of this character they chose. I actually think I like this a little more than the vintage collection option that they came out with. So this again would be a really easy army builder. I think Hasbro would be smart to start pumping some of these retro collection figures out in the 4 or 5 box sets, stormtroopers or these guys, or something like that, where we could really start to have some army builders. So Hasbro, if you're listening, give us more. Give us some different color paint apps, colors of this guy. Looking really good. All right, so next up we'll look at Morgan Elsbeth. Now this was a character introduced in The Mandalorian in the Ahsoka episode. And that's where we kind of found out that Thrawn was coming back into the franchise. So definitely excited to get her. I mean, kind of a more simple figure, no accessories with this one. And I think that they probably figured out which characters to make before they really knew how the series was going to end. So obviously her Night Witch kind of look at the end would have been a really awesome feature. Give her that sword. Maybe we'll get a second version of her. Something tells me I doubt it, but would definitely be a neat look. So we'll get her open and we will look at her. All right, so here is Morgan. So again, really not much to her, no accessories. She's a good example of kind of the dress or larger pant or robe kind of sculpt versus doing a soft goods dress. So we always get that kind of flat leg look there, which isn't always my favorite. However, it does really remind me of the original, so I can't complain about it. But otherwise, I mean, she's a cool character. I like her sleeves, some of that. They did a good job on her hair, I think, sculpting that. Let's get her in focus. There we go. All right, but yeah, otherwise pretty simple. But she rounds out kind of our bad guys for this wave. I'm really hoping they revisit, give us some Night Troopers, give us Thrawn. I think they will for this. So there is Morgan. So now we will move on to the star of the show. Now this is a repeat character that we got in the Mandalorian wave. Looks pretty identical. I'll do a side by side, but looks like the same, except for this one comes with a gray robe. So again, I would have loved to get the white version of Ahsoka, but I doubt that Hasbro had any insider knowledge that was going to happen. So I think they just gave us the version that they knew about. So again, hopefully a wave 2 for Ahsoka. Would love to see that. So we'll get this one open, do a side by side, and check her out. All right, here is Ahsoka. I have not put her robe on yet, obviously, because I do want to compare it to the version we got with the Mandalorian wave. And as you can see, I mean, these are absolutely identical. So no changes. Even I was wondering about like any of the paint apps or paint colors, or maybe her head tails, if there would be any differences. But really, there's not. It's absolutely identical. So yeah, the only difference is the robe. So if that's not important to you, this might be a character that, unfortunately, you could easily skip the main character of the show, but would definitely be easy to do. You could probably find a robe from a different character and throw it on her if you really wanted. So here she is with the robe on. I actually really like the cut of the robe, how it kind of goes over her arms, and has that slit so they can kind of stick out. So definitely a kind of a unique style of robe or cut of robe that at least I haven't really noticed something like that before. So they did a good job on it. It's just a little unfortunate that we got the gray version of Ahsoka instead of the white, because otherwise with the white outfit and white robe, this would be a no-brainer purchase. But still pretty cool, so can't complain too much. And obviously with a wave like this, you have to have the star of the show as part of the wave. The only thing I would say is that with the case, if you buy a full case, this is the only figure that you get a double of. So it's an 8-figure case. You get one of each of everybody else, 2 Ahsokas, which out of all the characters, she's the last one that I'd want 2 of, just because I already have the Mandalorian version. But again, kind of makes sense that the star of the show is the one you'd get doubles of. So now, next up, we'll do what I think is the best character out of this wave, other than, of course, Chopper, but the best humanoid version, or humanoid character, is Sabine Ren. So she was kind of the breakout star, of course, of the show. This character in Vintage Collection, at least the helmet was a big letdown. The rest of the character was amazing. So the Retro Collection version of her, it looks like that helmet's going to be awesome. I may even break out my Vintage Collection one to see how it fits her, but I love how this character looks. I love all the paint apps. So, I actually think we're pretty lucky to get as many different colors of paint on her as we did. I'm surprised they didn't skimp a little bit. So they made her pretty screen accurate, at least in the retro version. So very excited for her. Going to open her up and check her out. Okay, here's Sabine. Looks really good. I love the hair, the face sculpt, and of course her armor. Just the coloring on it looks outstanding. Now some of these figures I've noticed, they have like little shiny spots. I noticed it on Morgan Elsbeth as well. So seeing a few, I don't know how well you can see that, but just a few little shiny spots in the paint. There we go. And then on the blue right about there. But, I mean, nothing that really bothers me. That's just kind of interesting. So, this character came with a lot of accessories. Came with 2 blasters, which, I was looking to see if she had a spot on her holster to put them. She does not. So, she can hold both blasters or her lightsaber. So, anytime you have accessories where you're going to have to just kind of set one on the ground next to them when you have them on display. I never love that because it's easy to then lose them or drop them. But again, when we have extra accessories, I'm not really going to complain. So she's got one bluish gray, one yellow blaster. Those are pretty cool. And then we can switch her out for her Jedi weapon, of course, with her green modified Ezra Bridger lightsaber. So there she is with her lightsaber, looking pretty good. And now, of course, the moment of truth. Take her helmet. Now, the helmet is one piece of this where they did not quite do the paint apps as much as the rest of her, which is fine. I actually think it looks more retro this way than if it was fully colored. So that fits great, fits snug, and does not look too oversized. So Vintage Collection sculptors, take note. Retro Collection got this down pretty well. So I'm gonna grab Bo-Katan and we'll do a side by side to just see kind of how the helmet looks next to some other Mandalorians. So if we're looking side by side, maybe a little bigger in comparison to the body, but not much. When you hold up the Vintage Collection ones, I mean, it's almost comical, especially against the female Mandalorians, but this one is close enough where it really doesn't change how it looks by all that much when you have it next to the others. So definitely a fan of the helmet. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to grab the Vintage Collection one and just slip it on just to see. All right. So I apologize for anyone that's not a fan of the Vintage Collection as well, but I just have to see. So here is Sabine Vintage Collection regular helmet. Here is the retro helmet. We'll see if it fits on her. So definitely snug. Can't quite get it fully over her chin, but they could have finagled this a little bit to make a helmet this size. I think that looks so much better. So customizers, pick up a Retro Collection Sabine if you are a wanting a new helmet. Definitely looks better than the original one that came with it. So, all right, moving on. All right, so Hera was kind of a surprise character for me. I liked her a lot more than I thought I would. Never really got that attached to her in Rebels, but I thought she did a good job. Cool character, you know, and definitely waiting to just kind of see her character development as time goes on. Other shows come out and see what she does. So definitely a good look with the flight jacket there. So we'll open her up and check her out. All right, here is Hera. So just comparing this to kind of the character, she does not really have the detail on her head tails. However, the jacket looks pretty good. Nice detailing on each shoulder. So definitely a big fan of the jacket. And then, of course, she has kind of her orange, pilot pants or flight suit pants, whatever you want to call them. And I always love her little goggles as well. I think she's just kind of a neat looks like an old time kind of pilot. So I like how they designed her character. But then she has kind of a cool weapon, a little bit bigger of a little blaster there. But yeah, so definitely like Hera. More excited about her sidekick, which is Chopper. So we'll look at him next. But great addition. I love kind of getting the whole group of good guys. We do need a second wave of Ahsoka. We need Thrawn. We need Shin. We need Balin. We need Ezra. So Hu Yang. So I mean, easily just off the top of my head, I can just about round out a full wave. And then Ahsoka, the white. So as we finish this one out, we'll just kind of daydream about what wave 2 is going to look like. Comment if you have anybody else that you think needs to be in there. Of course, a Night Trooper as well. So that's probably 6 or 7 figures right there that would easily make an awesome wave 2 for Ahsoka. But for the characters we do have, last figure we'll look at is Chopper. I love this little astromech. Definitely one of my favorite characters, at least out of the Rebels kind of era. So, really fun character. Looks good with the sticker. So we'll open him up and check him out as well. All right, here is Chopper in all his glory. So he does have the wheel at the bottom. I kind of want to see if it pops out. Oh yeah, it pulls right out. So you can display him without that one to kind of make him look more like the traditional astromechs. Got the stickers all around. And then does have the click, just like R2. So great little addition. Awesome. Love hearing the click. So we can put that in. He's got the different colored legs, which is a good touch. Just all around, really a fun little figure. Now, if we compare him to the original R2, so R2 is a little taller. Actually, in the package, I was thinking that he looked really short. Not as short side by side as I would have kind of expected. Probably next to R5. R5 is quite a bit taller. Which I'm not really sure if that's screen accurate or not. I'd have to, see the live action version side by side, but it doesn't really bother me either way. I think this is just a cute little figure. And Chopper is a whole generation of kids. This is their version of R2. My kids love Chopper, and he's just such a fun little, addition to the Star Wars universe. So definitely enjoy him. I actually got a couple extras of these for my kids, but yeah, awesome figure. Great that it clicks, and I do love that little wheel easily pops out as well. So there we have the whole wave. Really fun, really great additions to the retro collection. I love what they're doing. I love that they are, releasing wave after wave. We have the Book of Boba Fett wave coming out soon. And then we look forward to 2024. We have at least the Phantom Menace wave. We haven't heard anything else about where they're going. My guess is that we're going to get a second Ahsoka wave, potentially some more of the original figures, you know, kind of remaking some. Maybe we will get the last few from A New Hope. You know, time will tell, we'll see, but what we do know for now is we have Book of Boba Fett coming, and we have the Phantom Menace wave coming out next year. I'll do a breakdown video of that one at some point in the near future, but you know, hopefully they just keep kind of giving us these. They seem to be selling pretty well, at least the legacy kind of waves or box sets have seemed to sell out pretty quick, and then we have to wait to get restocked. Some of these, you know, they're going to be peg warmers. That's every wave. You know, you're going to have one or two, but hopefully we have a few that are flying off the shelves enough to keep the demand up for these for Hasbro to continue to make them. So let me know which figures you want to see in 2024, you know, and we'll go from there. You know, we'll kind of just wait and see. But excited, definitely excited about this wave. Great addition. And be on the lookout for my Book of Boba Fett wave in the next couple weeks as I get those figures in. So, as always, make sure to subscribe or like the video if you enjoyed it and made it this far. And thanks for watching. May the Force be with you.